What is the picture about this? Anyone can guess what this is? I can. This is one of the most popular anime here in Japan. It's named Koukakkidotai. The reason why I can answer is because this was one of my latest obsessions, bioscience fantasies. Medical science fiction, bioscience fantasies. However you term them, these are the symbol of my passion and the representation for the future. The fans are all over the world. This Japanese anime, in fact, so well received that it is now officially turning into a Hollywood film, Ghost in the Shell, in this coming spring. Now, why am I talking about this? The story in this anime was originally created back in as early as 1991. At that time, the author already had a foresight into the future. People cloning internal organs from genome information for the purpose of replacing them with new ones. Or people creating artificial body parts to create superhuman powers. In this anime, these transactions are being depicted as a part of the norm in the future. But despite the growing popularity, this kind of graphic depictions are not still boarding yet by the mainstream. Unlike pure software IT startups, biotech startups always tend to have less audience to know how real our future is really looking. Most people disbelieve, I know, yet undoubtedly, this is the future that we are all facing. And the future is arriving one day at a time. Let's look at one of the future in numbers. Here is one way of looking at the phenomenal growth of bioscience field. This is very well-known graph in our circle of people. Anyone can guess what this is? This is a graph of cost level of conducting a genome analysis. In the last dozen years, the cost has been reduced to an impressive 100,000th of where it was before. And the change, however, has not been limited to just cost reduction. Pure numbers of academic publication in this field can also be a good measure of this explosion. The increase in the publications is due to the increased feasibility of higher number of testing. It's due to drastic cost reduction mentioned before. And the increase in the number of publications has led to an increase in total number of breakthrough discovery. And more discoveries means more opportunities for practical application of these discoveries. Let me give you some example of such discovery. Just to name a few, there are iPS cells or genome editing technologies. With advanced application of iPS cells, for example, you will be able to swap out your internal organs to new ones. So your hardworking liver might smile relief. And with genome editing technologies, you can edit the genome sequence and design the life. For example, you can farm pufferfish at twice of the rate of average, or chicken that are allergy-free resistant. This one is for the consumer who are suffering from allergy. But the real-life application of these cutting-edge technologies are yet to be made available to the mainstream. This is due to ethical or safety reasons. However, this technology actually exists today, And if you really wanted to, you can get access to the guarded doors. And the earlier anime site that I show you might just feel more real now. And that's where the world is headed. But why am I the one standing in front of you and talking about this? It's because I am a proud participant in this movement towards our bio future. I founded Genequest to contribute more technologically advanced and scientifically conscious future. We help accelerate the arrival of human good bioscience future. This is what Genequest does. Genequest provides a personal genome service for individual consumers, mainly in Japan and the other Asian countries. At the same time, Genequest also establishes a large genome database for medical and scientific research institutions. Genequest Genetic Testing Kit is a web-based service for users to borrow. If you type in the word Genequest in your website, you can purchase the kit online. But instead of just talking, why don't I see it? Let's clip. If you purchase it, the sampling kit will deliver to your home, and you take your saliva and send it back. Then Genequest extracts DNA information from your saliva and perform detailed analysis over 300,000 of genotyping data. And about 1 month after, you will receive your detailed information about your genetic status, including health risk, like diabetes and cancers, and ancestry information, and other genetic status. At this point, you must be thinking that I am a peculiar entrepreneur that pursuing this kind of startups. But what inspired me was my non-entrepreneurial background. I actually used to be a very geeky researcher myself. I was doing research using genome analysis. But turning from researcher to business learning entrepreneur, especially creating a company of this kind, was no easy work. But why did I even start this? Growing up in a family of physicians, I grew up debating whether I should be a doctor or not. But going through the process of passing medicine, I hit a wall of realization. When I discovered that the potential impacts that I can have on people are far greater than researcher than a practitioner. But going through the actual process of being a researcher, I realized that presenting a solution to this problem in the form of service providing business would be even better. So that was why I founded Genequest. We are the for-profit force that uniquely positioned to sustainably add value to both consumers and scientific research community. But why would you care to listen further about biotech when you have plenty of fun and sexy stories there or more internet-based startups that are changing the world today? Peter Thiel addresses the main differences between biotech startups and IT software startups, mostly citing the elements like biodiversity of targets, or heavy governmental regulation, lack of certainty, or high minimum capital required, and overall approachability. He addresses that biotech startups are less approachable than a software startups for the reasons above. But I beg to differ. Here's why I disagree. In contrary to what he said, what's happening in biotech today is this. When biotech has become dramatically more approachable and understandable due to the recent data accumulation that became possible. And two, biotech startups and internet-based startups are not mutually exclusive. In fact, far from mutually exclusive, what has developed in internet-based startups has added to redefine what's possible in biotech today. So that's precisely because of synergetic interplay between two intertwining spheres. This interplay has been from everything from AI, deep learning, data science technologies, or more. In short, biotech has recently changed so much because of two things it proves. One, there is more drastically data and analytic technologies of this increased data has improved so fast. So the forecast of the industry has now become about making meaningful choices on what to apply the newest problem-solving technologies for. And we have already strategic partners here as Genequest team. We have some of the most sophisticated research powerhouses in Japan as our strategic partners. Using our large database, we are doing research on the topics about such as depression, diabetes, lifestyle illnesses, dietary pattern, or stress-related conditions and more. Even though there are comparable companies in the place like United States, but differentiate from them, Genequest has a large genome database of predominantly Asian population, given its database location and reach. Here's one way of looking at the significance of having genome database platform. Before Genequest, without such platform, if you wanted to collect data on 10,000 people per project individually, it costs you $1 million. However, after Genequest, such platform allows for data sharing, which means much higher scale of project being possible. And at nearly 100 times of scale compared to the case before. And having such database like Genequest means effective utilization of shared resources. And this means more meaningful discoveries and faster hypothesis testing. Here is another specific way of looking at the latest innovation in biotech field. A year ago, genome editing technology saved a person's life for the first time in the world. In this case, a girl who was suffering from leukemia. Again, not to keep teasing you, this application of great technologies are yet to be released. However, the technology itself is dramatically improved and keeps broadening its application potential. And this means tremendous opportunities for other startups to emerge in this highly attractive space. So who else exactly benefits from our Genequest value? It is actual users who are voicing. Many of them send us actual handwritten letters to let us know how our work has changed their life. One letter says, using Genequest Kit gave us an opportunity to have renewed understanding and thinking habits of health. And this fundamental self-knowledge of genetic information is a large long-term asset for a family. And the other letter said, Genequest helps us to contribute to human health, and we help improve the discovery of future cures at the same time. Another voice is from university researchers that use our Genequest database for research purposes. It is not easy spotting a large genome database of this scale, they say. And these voices are why we do what we do at Genequest. The handwritten letters of thank you notes, ranging from researchers to everyday consumers, are what motivates us to continue our problem solving for the health of human community at large. As a scientist at heart, I find this problem solving to be my true calling in life. As one of the concluding remarks, here is a quote from our dear friend Steve. He says, "The reason for existence for Silicon Valley is changing the world to the direction to be better. In my humble opinion, this is where the next real problem solving is biotechnology of all things. It is what points the future of human health in the right direction." At the end of my talk, here is a card of gift from me to leave you with. Anyone can guess what this means? I will give you a hint. It is written by amino acid chain. This is for you who are already ahead of Biotech survey today. It reads, challenge. It screams, can you really afford not challenging yourself in biotech today, when this is the most exciting time in the entire history of human biotechnology? Thank you.